Hello and welcome back to another episode of Reigning and Defending, the sports podcast for the Scaldstone.com. I am, of course, your host, Isaac William Joesph. And we're coming at you with episode number 10. Episode number 10. Still not used to doing these by myself, but, with time, I'm not a soloist, never been a soloist, but you gotta make do with what you got. Eli and Soren, they have friends, obviously. I'll figure it out. With that said, first episode in the NFL offseason. With that said, we are easily not going to stop talking about football over here. Maybe I'll take a look into the XFL. I really dove into it the first time they made the reboot. Not so much this time. Was a Battlehawks fan. Hashtag caca, I guess. But, any sports fan who loves whatever sport they watch knows that the action does not stop in the offseason. Okay, we got to talk about offseason moves, signings, cuts, stuff like that. And of course, the draft, one of the biggest holidays in the sports fans' world. But so today it's going to be a little different when it comes to desiring content. But I'd say that everybody who calls football their number one sport kind of comes back to, they either don't watch anything because they only watch football, or they have this transition back into everything else. Football, 18-week regular season for the NFL. If you're a college fan, it's even shorter. 82 games per NBA season, 82 games per NHL season, 100 plus for MLB. So when you weigh them, games are a little less important in the first half of those seasons comparatively with the NFL, where every single week counts. Okay, I might be showing a little bit of, football is my baby and I am biased to it. But, it's the truth. Every week counts in the NFL. A good start in the NBA or the NHL or the MLB is really good, for team morale and stuff. But, teams like the St. Louis Blues of 2020, 2019 have taught us that things don't really heat up until, the last couple months. Maybe last few months. With that said, that is exactly where we are in both of those leagues. And I'm not going to talk so much about basketball. My boys that cover this podcast every other week, they talk plenty about basketball. I'm not going to talk about basketball. With that said, let's talk about some sports news first, of course. You probably keep on hearing my phone buzz. I gotta take this off the desk. But as you can see, I have my Golden Knights jersey on because, we got to take in the new season. We got to take in the lack of football. We got to take in the next best thing. Hockey. Men hitting men right on the ice. Brawling. Netting goals. Netting pucks. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit before I turn into a total puckhead again. The way I see it is I'm pretty analytical with football. Hockey's more of my leisure sport, my sport that I can enjoy. With that said, not really watching the Golden Knights, but keeping up with them, they almost seem like the most bipolar team in the league. But then I take a look, and I guess I'll share the standings with you momentarily. But let's get into the news and notes of what just happened actually not long ago. I'm trying to find which which of my many sports apps told me. But so the Indianapolis Colts just traded for the number 1 pick with... That is so stupid. Sometimes I move my window, that is my camera, and then it just stops the video. But it's whatever. But yes, the Indianapolis Colts traded picks with the Chicago Bears. And so I will be looking for that article in due time. Pure top tier podcasting content, Isaac. But I could also let you guys know that Derek Carr update. I guess we'll be taking a close look at Derek Carr. Obviously, me being a Raiders fan, and that being one of the most relevant free agent stories right now. Free agent QB is slated to meet with a handful of teams in Indianapolis this week amid the 2023 NFL Scouting Combine. So yeah, Derek Carr's weighing his options. It's obviously showing that he's a very highly interested quarterback free agent. But yeah, I have no clue where he would end up because it's been Saints, Jets for a while now. But obviously this guy is definitely seeking what could be in his best interest, as he should. But sorry guys, I was just fixing my beard. Yeah, Colts trade for number 1 pick. All right, give me that Bleacher Report, or just any report, I guess. Come on, something that happened just now. I can't get any articles on something that just happened now. Well, anyways, I guess I'll give you guys more details on that sports package, or if you are the lucky person, the very average lucky person that clicked on the stupid notification that I failed to click on. There it is. Obviously, they're really pushing for an answer. The Colts are really pushing for an answer at quarterback aggressively. Obviously, this means that, Raiders fans' hopes of trading for the number 1 overall pick is no longer there. Because I can't imagine, I can, but I hope not, the Raiders trade up for the 2nd or 3rd overall pick. Because it kind of reminds you of the 2016 draft class. The 2016 draft class had, I think, the Titans at the number 1 overall pick, and they traded back. And the Rams went and wanted that number 1 overall pick. And then the Eagles traded up for the number 2 pick. And it was actually kind of questionable because these were both teams that were before Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Obviously, this is their draft class. People were questioning the Eagles, saying, are the Eagles really going to just be okay with with whatever quarterback is left over after the Rams pick, And on some sort of super weird level, the Rams and Eagles have won Super Bowls since drafting those quarterbacks, but it was, a stronger case for the Eagles, but neither quarterback is the reason why they won the Super Bowl. You could probably make a case for Jared Goff and Carson Wentz for getting their teams to the Super Bowl. But all in all, it is just another story of how people keep falling for the crapshoot that is the NFL draft. Because I guess, Jared Goff, he's looking pretty good with the Lions, but statistically, I think the runaway mainstream labeled overall best out of that draft class is Dak Prescott, and he is he's getting a lot of shade every single year. Things are getting pretty questionable over in Dallas because same shit, different season kind of thing with Dallas for the last 30 years. But, that's just the big joke. But yeah, I guess that's all the news I can share sports-wise, at least for the NFL. Because, yeah, let's get back into the groove of acknowledging that other sports exist. I have the NHL standings, and I'll be honest, other than my team, I haven't really been paying attention to much of anybody else. So let's take a look at what surprises me. I did take a look a little bit before this. Columbus being dead last in their division, having the most losses in the entire league, actually. I don't know if they were this bad last year, but all I know is that when I started watching hockey, they were a playoff team, and they slayed the super highly rated Tampa Bay Lightning. It's crazy because I actually wrote an article about the Tampa Bay Lightning back when they were having that historically record-breaking season. And then they lost in the first round. I wrote an article about how I was only going to have them win the Stanley Cup.
Isaac,
what's up, buddy?
We got this Ninja Turtle figure.
Dude, that's a super sick Ninja Turtle figure.
You want it?
Sure.
Okay. You want toy?
Yeah, okay. Go buy it for me, buddy, okay? Alright, now take this dog and shut the door, okay?
I'm gonna get this guy. I'm gonna get this guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Alright, see you later, T.
I'll see you later.
Alright, go shut the door.
When it's Easter, buddy.
Sheldon, get out of here, buddy. Hey, T, shut the door. Thank you. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Columbus killed the Tampa Bay Lightning in round one a few years ago. And then Tampa Bay Lightning go ahead and win 2 Stanley Cups after that. Oof. I guess they want to just always keep us guessing with the Tampa Bay Lightning. But anyways. Yeah, Columbus being the worst recorded win-loss team, the worst win-loss team in the league right now. Right there with them is the Anaheim Ducks. But as for my team, we are the number 1 team in the Pacific Division. That's really good to see. But I don't know how I feel like, because we're first, but we have the most losses out of all other division leaders. We're 2 behind Dallas, who's number 1 in the Central Division, and we are 10 losses behind Boston, who is easily the best team in the league right now. They're actually making waves. I did hear a few things about Boston, but yeah, I guess this is the episode where I'm getting my toes wet into what is the 2022-2023 NHL season. But I guess that's where we're at. We're actually facing, I think, the Ducks tonight. We're playing tonight, and no, we're playing the Avalanche tonight. And I think we're losing by 2 already. Let me take a look. All these quiet moments, it's like I really need a co-host. It's insane. It's loading. Just, yeah. Close, okay. Yeah, we're losing by 2, boys. Losing by 2. We got 9:26 left in the third. I don't know if we got it tonight. The Avs are actually third in the Central Division. the same. Wait a second. What? Minnesota has one more team point than them because they've gone to overtime 6 times, and the Avs have gone to overtime 5 times. You know, that's actually a point or a rule that I've heard a couple local hockey fan brethren have complained about, how a game goes into overtime and both teams just get a point. I don't really know how the point system works yet. I just, hope my team wins overall, But yeah, it looks like, I don't get it. Like, I guess because Minnesota's played more games, but the Avs have the same amount of wins, which is 33 as Minnesota, and they have less losses. Minnesota's lost 21, and the Avs have lost 19, and they will be 1 win above Minnesota. And that will get them a team point. I guess they're just quite literally neck and neck for that number 2 spot in the Central Division. But although both have more wins than the Dallas Stars, because the Dallas Stars have just gone into overtime more times. So, yeah. Looks like if you tie a lot in the NHL and you don't suck all the time when you don't go tie, you got a fighting chance in the playoffs, my babies. Baby girls. But yeah, I guess that's just the tone setter. Las Vegas had actually a really, 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 really hot start in the beginning of the season. I think we had I think we went on like a 10 or 11 game win streak, maybe even more at the beginning of the season. And, it's just been back and forth, winning and losing since then. So we haven't completely fumbled the bag, but if we did not have such a hot start in the beginning, we would probably be like San Jose, who is 18 and 30 and 12 right now. Maybe even worse. Sheesh. Anyways, there's all that. But let's see. Me getting into something else, which was something that I wanted to talk about last week, but the boys Eli and Soren had elected to make last week their week, because we took a small break for the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl, because that was just such a big thing. I hope y'all enjoyed if y'all watched it. But yeah, so I was going to talk about pro wrestling, because this podcast is called Reigning and Defending. That's more of a pro wrestling thing more than anything else. But reigning and defending, those are both words that are commonly used in every sport. So that's why it's called Reigning and Defending. Plus, I think it's a dope-ass name. It's yours truly, the guy who comes up with all the names to everything around here, and all the logos except for the exception of a couple things around here for Skull Stone Productions. I am the CEO, the big boss, El Presidente. Yes, that was stolen from Barstool Sports. I don't give a dang. But maybe I can come up with my own CEO nickname. Yeah, like El Presidente. That's nice. Nice. But anyways, last thing. So it's kind of late to talk about pro wrestling, because I was going to review this month's WWE pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber, because it was actually a very, very, very well done Elimination Chamber. I'd like to say the best part about the Elimination Chamber was, of course, the men's Elimination Chamber. I know everybody tuned in for Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, which, I did too, but I'm still, regardless, not missing a pay-per-view. I got Peacock for a reason. But I will honestly say, looking back, my favorite part is the men's Elimination Chamber match because Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano had easily the best moments in tonight, excluding the main event. Uh, they almost kind of were like buddies in the first half of the show, and then of the match, and then there was some subtle points where they were just hanging out, like that whole thing with Theory, Austin Theory, with being in the pod that Austin Theory was trying to hide in, and that dude, I don't think I've laughed that hard during any match. Seth Rollins just has that charisma and storytelling during a match that you don't really see these days anymore. And then Johnny Gargano having probably his first shining moments since coming back and joining the main roster. You really gotta see that match and just be nothing but happy for Johnny Gargano, except for the way that he got taken out. Yeah, it's whatever. And then my boy Seth Rollins got taken out by Logan Paul, because I guess that's gonna be a rivalry. I liked Logan Paul until that happened, bro. You know, Seth Rollins, Iowa native. Seth Rollins is only like recently in the last year quickly jumped up to be my favorites, because I had gone to 2 Monday Night Raws here in Des Moines, and of course, being the hometown hero, Seth Rollins is easily the headliner performer. And I guess, I'm a person of my environment. I'm a man of my habitat. Seth Rollins is undeniably awesome, and I personally think that he is unburyable. He had the most losses, and I know we're talking about pro wrestling. It's scripted, Isaac. It's fake. It's for show. It's bad acting. I know. But with that said, it is purely based off of your momentum. It's not win or lose, okay? It's based on likability, because the way I've put it into terms is, think of like the WWE Championship as like an Oscar. And I know an Oscar is like the highest regarded award in the Academy, okay? But think of it as an award. Hey, you're the best guy in the business right now, or you're really over right now. You have earned this. Let's see how long you keep it. But Seth Rollins, the reason why I say he's unburyable is because he lost 74 matches last year. Easily the most losses by anybody else last year. And yet he's still one of the top performers in the brand. If that's not unburyable, I don't know what is. He is amazing. His gimmick is simple but unbreakable. And that's why I love Seth Rollins so much. He just carries the brand on his back sometimes. But yeah, all I can say now is in what would be a super late review for the Elimination Chamber is just I recommend. I know you don't have 4 hours in your day. I know you probably aren't here for pro wrestling just yet. But go watch that men's Elimination Chamber match. It was great. It was so great. And Montez Ford, shout out to Montez Ford for having the move of the night. I know they say every year someone does some cool move based off of a cage that's on the Elimination Chamber. But Montez Ford, man, I hope this really starts his push as a singles contender as well. Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, they're on that seemingly long list of performers. It's about time that they deserve better. It's about time that they get theirs. And I just can't wait for it. Not to mention that Seth Rollins is very due for a world title, but it's whatever. I like the IC title the most anyways. this, if you're watching on YouTube, this is one of the best ones too. But that's not in the brand anymore. Anyways, so yeah, I guess for me to get your guys' feet wet on what will, I hope, regularly be common WWE updates, a look into how I am and who I am as a wrestling fan. I've been following the WWE since I was a child. It started out with action figures, and then it turned into video games before I actually started watching the week-to-week shows. Because, you know, as a kid, toys and video games, as a little boy, toys and video games is everything you need before you actually sit down and watch a 2-hour show about wrestling. Which by then, by the time I was 9, 10, 8, 11, whatever, I really did love watching every single week. It's actually kind of it's kind of silly because it's backwards now in my adulthood. You know, pay-per-view, being able to watch those pay-per-views, those you know, Royal Rumbles, SummerSlams, WrestleManias. As a kid, I never got to watch those because my parents would never pay for the pay-per-view. But as an adult, I'm hardly ever available or not able to watch a Friday Night SmackDown, watch a Monday Night Raw. But I will always make time, because my days off are on the weekends. I will always make time for special pay-per-views now. It's kind of weird how life works like that. But yeah, so I will say that my top 5 current wrestlers right now, number 5 is probably Cody Rhodes. But let's be honest, number 5 probably fluctuates quite often. But I guess that gives you a hint into who I want to win on WrestleMania. But I think they should draw out that rivalry a little bit longer. I don't think he should win at WrestleMania. I think it would be perfect if he didn't. But they ring out that feud, and then he eventually gets it. He has to earn it. Cody Rhodes has to be respected as a champion if he handles some sort of adversity, because he hasn't really faced much adversity since coming back to the brand, except for his freaking real life injury that he was gone for. He's won everything other than that. But so yeah, number 5 is Cody Rhodes. Rooting for you, bro. American Nightmare. Really hoping for your redemption tour, revenge tour, whatever this has been since coming back to the brand. Number 4, Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, I met Johnny Gargano last summer when he was at the Des Moines Con. And for the first, I was very transparent with him. I was like, hey man, I don't watch NXT. I don't watch the development brand, the black and gold brand that trains young superstars to go then to SmackDown and Raw. So I told him, hey man, I've never watched you wrestle. That was day 1. Day 2, I came back and I had educated myself, and I had watched some YouTube videos, and he was really pretty good in the ring. If you guys want to do some studying up on Johnny Gargano, check out his NXT feud with Tommaso Ciampa. They were the best performers for their size. But Johnny Gargano, he sealed all my doubts when I watched that Elimination Chamber match. I was so proud of him. He was easily, probably, with the exception of Montez Ford, actually, no, screw that. He was the best in-ring performer that entire night. Johnny Gargano, you are a magician. You are unstoppable. Keep digging, dog. You deserve everything. I can't wait to see what you do from here on out. Number 3, Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens because he has proven me so wrong with who he is. For quite some time, I had left watching WWE because I had gotten so enveloped in hockey, NBA, football, real sports. I mean, it's not a fake. It's fake wrestling, but it's not fake sports. So I should say non-scripted sports, not sports entertainment, but sports. And then the pandemic hit, and then the only thing that was on was the WWE. So here I am. And at first, when I saw Kevin Owens, I'm like, who the hell is this generic ass, average built looking dude? I mean, his shirt says fight on it. Whoa, And then I saw his acting. I saw his mic skills. I saw his in-ring ability at the weight that he is. I saw on YouTube the replay of John Cena in his feud back in 2015 over the U.S. title. It was incredible. And so, yeah, he's probably... If you don't take physique into the account, right? Because the dude has lost weight since debuting on the main roster. But he's not, he's not going to be your typical prototype John Cena, Triple H, Ultimate Warrior, stuff like that. If you take out physique, Kevin Owens is probably one of the best all-around wrestlers on the brand right now. Number 2 is Bray Wyatt. The reason he was number 1, the reason why he takes a back seat number 2 is because ever since they brought Bray Wyatt back, I haven't been too crazy about his storyline. I think the brand doesn't know what to do with him. But I think Bray Wyatt always can... why I love Bray Wyatt so much is I really love his... He will deny failure, as in, like, he's probably had to change his gimmick on some sort of way multiple times, and he has hit a home run almost every single time. It's just that they don't want to push him in the way that his fans want him to be pushed. Matter of fact, he's been buried way too many times. Even when he was the unstoppable Fiend, they let Goldberg in his 50s bury him, which was super disrespectful. But it's whatever. Bray Wyatt is a great storyteller. That's why he keeps on getting paired up with Randy Orton. Whether or not Randy Orton is in a Wyatt family storyline or a huge feud that leads up to WrestleMania with Alexa Bliss. But, right now while I don't quite know where Bray Wyatt's story goes, he's got to be at number 2. But Bray Wyatt has unmatched creativity, and that's why I keep him in high regard as well. Creativity is very much appreciated by me, okay? If you have nothing but creativity, you have everything. That's the rule, okay? What do I run Scald Stone Productions for? Okay? This is a creative company. Okay? If you don't have creativity, what do you have? Maybe some work ethic. But it's whatever. And the number 1, which has already been mentioned, is Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins Seth Rollins. I mean, I've already made my case for why Seth Rollins is so freaking great. You got that hometown hero aspect. You have that refuse to be buried aspect. You have that high charisma, simple gimmick turned gold aspect. And he looks like a wrestler. Okay? He doesn't look like a roided out monster. He looks like a natural, technical wrestler. Amazing, okay? Amazing. If you want to fall in love with Seth Rollins, Heist of the Century. Look it up on YouTube. Amazing. With that said, I have 30 minutes. I talked for a while about wrestling. Crazy. I wonder what I'm going to title this episode. But it's episode 10. That was episode 10 of Reigning and Defending. Those were my top 5 favorite wrestlers. Hopefully we can mention more. Maybe do monthly reviews on the pay-per-views now. And hopefully I won't be too late to do them. With that said, I hope y'all have a good week. Happy Wednesday. I need to have like a really proper sign off for this. I'll think about it next week. Love y'all. Bye-bye.